So what we're going to do is we're going to compare this fraction right here. And so we need to replace it with a less than sign, a greater than sign, or an equal to sign. So if I look at that, 5/7 and I compare it to 3/4. Okay, once again, I'm going to take 4 times what?
5.
I'm going to take 4 times 5. So if I take 4 times 5 and then I'm going to bring my answer down here, which is 20, I'm now going to multiply what times what?
7 times 3.
7 times 3 and I get
21.
21. So what symbol would actually go between those?
Less than.
Less than sign. Okay? Real quick, I want you to go ahead and do this one for me. I want you to compare 11/12 and 9/10. So go ahead, real quick, just jot it down on a scratch sheet of paper, wherever, on the inside of your book cover somewhere. I need you to go ahead and evaluate that one for me. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and send a question to your expression. Okay, so let's see what... I did. See, now what I was doing is it pops in. See how that works? So the answer is actually B. It's greater than. Because if you compare those, you should get 110 on the left. You get 108 on the right. The sign will be greater than. Okay? A little tidbit how you can remember which one is called which. Less than always points to the left. Okay? So this is a less than sign because it points to the left. So that means greater than sign always has to point to the right. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next slide that I have. We're going to be adding fractions together. Now, these first two should be really easy. If you can't do these, then we're going to have some trouble this year. Okay, because 3/5 plus 1/5 you should know is 4/5. Remember, all we do is we add the numerators and we leave the denominators alone. The bottom one. 6/16. Now, one of the things about this, if you look at this, 6/16 can be reduced down. It is not in simplest form, and so you do need to reduce that down. You notice that both numbers are in fact even, which means they're divisible by 2. So 6 divisible by 2 gives me 3. What about 16? 8. So my answer is 3/8. Now, if you don't reduce, you lose some points. So make sure you reduce these down. Okay, let's look at the next one. Oh, skipped one. There we go. This next one, though, the fractions aren't the same. And so what we're going to need to do is make them the same. So I need to look at the denominators, 2 and 3. I need to find the smallest number that is divisible by both 2 and 3. And we already know that that is 6. So what I'm going to do is change each of those to sixths. So I need to think, 2 times what gives me 6? 3. So what I'm going to do is multiply by 3 over 3. So then I take 2 times 3, I get 6. 1 times 3, I get 3. I need to think what times 3 gives me 6? 2. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 over 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So now what I can do is add those as I did in the problem before. I'm going to add numerators only, and I get 7 over 6. Now this is a change. I will let you answer this way if it is in simplest form. Okay, you do not need to change this to a mixed number. As a mixed number, this would be 1 and 1/6. Now I will accept this. I prefer this. Reason being, when we get to advanced math, if any of you go on and take your trig or your calculus ever, okay, the improper fractions work much better. We don't use mixed numbers when we get to our higher level math. Okay, we use the improper fractions. So biggest thing, just make sure you can simplify it if you can. You can answer either of those. I prefer this, but I will accept both. Okay, let's look at this one. 3/8 minus 1/3. What is the smallest number that both 8 and 3 go into evenly? 24. Good. Now, when in doubt, if you don't know, a good rule of thumb is just multiply the two denominators. So take 8 times 3, that'll give you 1. Might not be the smallest, but it'll give you 1. So now 8 times what gives me 24? So I'm going to multiply this by 3 over 3. So 3 times 3 is 8 times 3 is 24. 3 times what is 24 here? 8. So I'm going to multiply this by 8 over 8. So 1 times 8 is 8. 3 times 8 is 24. I need to go ahead and subtract those, and what do you get? 124. Good. Okay. Questions on that? All right, this one, real quick. Jot it down. Okay, I don't know if I'll send it to the expressions, but go ahead and try this one on your own. 2/5 minus 3/4. 2/5 minus 3/4. Minus 3/4. Okay, we've got our first step here. There you go. Good job. Alright, so you should have gotten 8/20 minus 15/20. And going around the room, I actually saw a lot of you have that. Okay? And here is the answer. Oh, come on. Yep, that's fine. That's fine. Good job. Okay? And the answer is -7/20. Okay? So, questions? You can't have negatives with fractions. Any questions? All right, fastest finger, here you go. Actually, no, it's not. 2/5, or 2.5 plus -3.5. Decimal question. Along the same lines as the fractions, these ones should probably be a little easier for you. I went ahead and sent this to your expression, so go ahead and type in your answer.
Ooh, it turned off again.
Turn it on. It should work fine. There should be all the symbols that you need, I believe. Down by the 7, I believe, that one works. To the left of the 7, you're going to notice it shares. That might be like texting, I think, where you have to hit it a couple times. I know some of you. Okay, so. So 2.5 plus -3.5. More? I think it's not by itself. All right, so let's see what we got. And the answer is -1. Okay, I know some people answered -1.0. Okay, whoa, looks like we have some differing views here. Okay, 2.5 plus -3.5.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so what you should do, okay, is basically subtract those two, and when you subtract those two, you get 1, and you take the sign of the bigger number, so you should get a -1 there. Let's look at this one. -13.12 plus -8.6. -13.12 plus -8.6. I've had this as my third year. They came last year. Okay, so negative 21.72. Okay, remember, both of the signs are the same, so all you do is you add them together. So I'm going to add 13.12, and I'm going to add it to 8.6, and when I do that and line up my decimal points, that's the important thing to remember. You should get 21.72. Then you take the sign of both terms. All right, let's look at the next one. Ooh, this is a good one. Negative 32.25 minus negative 42.5. Now, real quick, what does the minus and negative mean? Okay, minus a negative. You know what? This is the easy way to think about two negatives always make a positive. So really, this problem, and I always do that. Whenever I see a minus sign, I change it to the opposite. And so this is really 32.25 plus 42.5. Okay, negative 32.25 plus 42.5. So for those that are still kind of struggling, I did kind of put up in pink probably what you should have done here. Okay, you're subtracting those two. Now the nice thing is if you think about this in terms of money, you probably could do this a little bit faster. When you think of if you have 42.50 and you subtract 32.25, you get 10.25. Okay, so there you go. Oh, funny. So the answer is 10.25. Okay, once again, basically you subtract the difference. When the signs are opposite, you subtract the two, and then you take the sign of whatever number is higher. Let's look at this one. Oh, it's your assignment. Oh my goodness. So here you go. For tomorrow, you need to do on P16, 2 through 40 the evens. Okay? 2 through 40 the evens due tomorrow.